Hello and welcome to the World Reflexology Foundation. We are a group of reflexologists who have a passion for helping people have better health. And in fact, we have a belief that if people around the world had reflexology to use on themselves, that the world could be a healthier place. So our mission is to improve health worldwide through self-help reflexology. What's reflexology? Reflexology is a way of helping ourselves to stay in good health. It's called prevention. And if we do have aches and pains and different discomforts, then it's a way of sometimes helping us feel better. How is it done? Well, reflexology is done by using our touch in nurturing ways on maps of the body that are believed to exist on the feet, on the hands, and on the outer ears. And let's take a look at some charts that'll show you what reflexology is visually. So now let's take a look at the World Reflexology Foundation color coordinated chart. If you notice on the left, there's the human body, the lady, but it would be the same for the man. And the colors from the top to the bottom, from the top of her head to her feet. Well, we're going to take a look at those in a minute, but notice on the feet and hands, that they're also the same colors, going from the top down to the heel of the feet and the wrist of the hands. So let's take a look. Notice the purple color of her head and neck. That color is color coded. If you go to the toes, you'll notice it's the same purple color as it is in the fingers. That's indicating if you have problems, stress in your head and neck, that you would go to the fingers and toes to help get relief. If you come to the body again and notice the blue, that's for the chest area. And that means chest in front, heart and lungs inside, everything inside the chest, and then the shoulders and back, because when the shoulders are actually the top and back of the chest. And we go to the same color, the blue, on the feet and on the hands. And now if we go back to the human body, we look at the yellow and the orange. The yellow is upper abdomen, the orange is lower abdomen. And that's where you'd work on the feet, the yellow for upper abdomen, and the heels for lower abdominal pelvic area. And on the hands, similarly, the yellow for upper abdomen, the heel of the hands, the orange for lower abdominal pelvic area issues. So that's for the feet, hands, and ears as far as from the top down. Now let's take a look at the legs. Notice they're red, and you go to the small red spots on the feet and on the hands. Notice the cursor that's showing you. And then go to the arms. Notice the green representing the arms. And notice the cursor is going to show us on the outer edge of the feet, below the small toe to the heel, and also the outer edge of the hands from the small finger down to the wrist. And then down the middle of the human body, notice that there's something that looks like a ladder. And that's representing the spinal reflex area from the neck all the way down to the lower pelvis area. And if we go to the feet, notice where the feet come together below the big toe down to the heel. That's for the spinal reflexes on the feet. And on the hands, similarly, we're below the thumb down towards the wrist for spinal issues. Then let's go to the ears and think when we were children, and we used to try to do headstands on the ears, headstands. And notice the purple is on the bottom instead of the top. That's because the image of the human body and the outer ear is upside down. So for head and neck issues, the purple, we'd work with the earlobe area. The blue is for the chest reflex area. The yellow and orange are for the upper and lower abdominal areas. The red is for the legs, leg reflexes. The green for arm reflexes. Shoulder all the way up to the finger top where the cursor is now. That would be for the fingertips. And then notice the spinal reflexes, that curved area. So these are the maps that we use for the feet, hands, and outer ears, showing you what the concept of reflexology and the reflexology pressure maps.
I'm going to take over from here. Thank you so much, Stephanie, and welcome everybody. We're going to start with the slide showing you on the feet where we would go first if we had intense pain. Again, just reiterating that this is just, we work where we can. But however, on the feet, you can see that we will start both on the top, which is the dorsal, and the plantar, which is the sole. It is right underneath the big toe. So where the black line is on the inside of your foot, just above your arch, you will see that black line goes from the big toe down to just about the end of your arch. Um, Again, we will work both the top and the bottom of our feet along that inner ridge of our feet. So I will show you first on my plastic foot. So on my plastic foot, you will see that the big toe is here. And on the inner edge, we will work all the way down to just about the bottom of the arch there above the heel. Now, I always work the broader area because everybody's body is different. We want to make sure we're hitting all those reflex points. And I'm going to quickly show you the techniques that you can use. We like to use either the thumb walk, which is inching along, stretching the skin, or you can use 2 fingers. You could use 1 finger. You could also use a press and hold. So as you're working up or across this whole reflex points, all these reflex points, this whole region here for the thoracic or mid back, you could either use, again, the thumb technique, fingers, or a press and hold. Now, I'd like everybody to try this on their own feet. It's not always easy to get your foot up, but I'm going to demonstrate on my foot where to work. I'm going to put this plastic foot down. I'm going to move my computer, so bear with me. I'm going to scoot back, and I'm going to use a pillow. So if you have a pillow, that's also very handy. I'm going to take my foot, and I'm going to place it on my pillow, which I notice now my computer's not showing, so bear with me. I'm going to place my foot on this pillow. Well, I'm going to actually hold my foot because I can't, it's not really working. So I want everybody to see. We're all humans, so bear with me. I'm going to now work the area below my big toe, down my arch, both on the top of my foot and into the sole. So I'm going to use my thumb and I'm going to do the inchworm. So I hope everybody's participating. And I'm just going to inch my way up over this spinal reflex point of the mid back. And I'm going to work slowly. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to breathe through this. Now, as I'm working, again, using my fingers across, up, down, or whichever is the easiest for your body to work. I feel a bit of a tender spot here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this spot gently and I'm going to circle it until that tender area feels a little less tender. And then I'm going to keep going. Now I'm going to work the broader area again. I'm going to work a little bit across the top of my foot, just slightly above that arch. Nice and slow. And then I'm going to go onto the sole of my foot a little bit, just below the arch there, working the bigger, grander area, broader area. And I can't take as long as I would like, which would be about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to tell you that at home, you would like to use a little bit more time on this, just a little bit more time. Now, do we work both feet? Yes, we do. If you can and you're able, you would work both feet. They're both important. However, I have a bad hip on my right side. So I wouldn't be able to work my right foot. What does that mean? That means then I would work my left foot, and then I'd probably work both hands and both ears to get that full effect for my thoracic spine. Okay, I'm going to pull it back up. Hello, everybody. I hope that you were able to participate in that. Again, the big toe, you're going to work all the way down that arch above the heel, a little bit above that heel. Again, the broader area. Thank you so much. And when you're at home, you want to take your time and breathe through it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That was awesome. And thank you also for mentioning that it's so important to work the greater area, the broader area. So not just on the spinal reflexes, but we want to get all the muscles and everything for it. So always broader area, long and slow, and really taking your time and more often. You will hear that probably again later on. Now we're coming to Carino, who will show you on the hands where to work for the mid-back thoracic spine. And as Sarah already mentioned, not everyone is so flexible like Sarah and can reach the feet easily. But there we have the hands available and the ears. So, Carino.
Hello, Stephanie.
So we're showing you first a picture of the hands, the image.
We got the area, the darkest area, that's where we're gonna be working. If you notice, it's from the bottom of the thumb to about the wrist. That's where we're working on both hands. The beauty of the hands is that we can reach them all the time. So we're working on those areas right there. I'm gonna be demonstrating. And try to do it slow, try to do it slower. And we're looking for any part that is a little bit tender, and we want to work not as hard. We want to go softer. The soft touch works just as good as the hard touch, but we don't want you to hurt yourself at any time. So with that, I'm gonna be demonstrating on my hand, and I want to show you how am I gonna be supporting my hand with my wrist, and I'm using my top. We're working from the bottom of the thumb to about the wrist. A good reference to find it is the bony part. We're gonna follow the bony part and we're gonna do the inchworm. Notice that how I'm holding it, and then we're gonna go slowly like a slow caterpillar working on your hand. We go slowly, very slow. And since we're working the mid back and the thoracic, we can go the broader area, which can be the front of the bony and the back of the bony area. But we just taking the bony area as a reference because it's very easy to find. So I'm going slowly right there. And then I'm going a little bit on the back. Hopefully everybody's following with me. And if you find any tender area like I did right here, you can work a little bit more longer. You can go circle a little bit and stay right there for a little bit. Then since we have two hands, we're gonna switch to my right, holding with my left. And same thing, we're doing the little caterpillar going in slowly. Notice how it walks on my hand. I'm trying to get the camera so you can see the walk. It's probably millimeters at the time. You want to cover the area, take your time. So you don't want to go so fast. You go a few millimeters at a time. That's fine. If you find a tender area, just work a little bit longer right there. Then we're gonna work on the front, almost the front of my palm, right there. I'm gonna do it slowly. And I'm always having the support on my hand. The beauty of the hands is we can work on them all the time. We can work on both of them all the time. They're always easy to reach. Just follow a little bit along and go slowly, slowly. And while we're doing it, while we're practicing, I'd like to remind you the importance of drinking water all the time, please. And here we go. And we're going from the top to the bottom. That's what we're trying to cover. Notice how I'm holding my hand. I'm trying to do it as slow as I can. When you do it on your own time, you can take as long as you want. But right now, because we're practicing, because we have the class and the camera on, I'm not gonna do that much time as we should. But on your own, please take 5, 10, 15 minutes. And on the hands, the beauty is that you can switch from one to the other one. You get tired of one, that's fine. Just go to the other one. It works just as well. And then, as Stephanie was mentioning, don't work on any part of your hand that is injured. So if one of them is injured or swollen for any reason, just go on the one that is fine. Work on this. It works as well. And on one hand, you can help the whole body. So it doesn't matter if you go to the left, it doesn't matter if you go to the right, as long as you keep doing it. With that, hopefully you guys follow me, and I send it back to Stephanie.
Thank you, Quirino. That was so thorough. Thank you so much. Even though the first priority for mid-back, the fastest way to relieve pain would be on the feet, the hands are so easy to reach, as you mentioned. And thank you so much for taking your time. I hope you all were following along. It's so nice and switching the hands. So thank you so much for guiding us through this, Quirino. And the third location will be the ears now. So Kathy is going to guide us through how to work or hold ear points, ear areas for mid-back and thoracic
Thank you,
spine.
Stephanie. Can you go ahead and put up the ear diagrams so we can take a look at that first? And you guys have already seen how the hands and the ears are quite similar when working for the mid-back thoracic spine reflexes, and the ears are quite different. So Stephanie's arrow just showed you that dark area, which is where the mid-back thoracic spinal reflexes are located on the ears. So the spinal reflexes are located on this inner ridge right here. And as you saw in the diagram, if you follow this ridge right about out to here, this is where the thoracic spinal reflexes start, and they go on up right about to here. So we've got the low back reflexes, the thoracic mid-back spinal reflexes, and the neck reflexes right here. So again, we're going to be working this area right in here. Right in here. And the easiest way to find this ridge is if you don't plug your ear canal, but if you find your ear canal and then move back, that's easy. That ridge is going to stop you. And to locate the thoracic mid-back reflexes, which I just showed you, if you follow the outside of the ear all the way to the inner ridge here, it'll pretty much come out right where you start for the thoracic mid-back. So this is the area we're going to be working. As you saw with the hands and the feet, it's a lot of thumb walks and movement, and with the ears, it's mostly going to be hold, a little bit of movement, but you'll want to put your thumb behind your ear and the index finger on the front of the ear where you've located that ridge and where you've located, we want to start for the thoracic spine. And so it's sort of a pinching, you've got your thumb behind, you've got your index finger on top, and you're going to be moving along that mid-back reflex area right up to about there. And then you can maybe move back down and just taking your time. If you find an area on your ear on that area that feels maybe a little more sensitive, then the rest you can stop there and you can hold. And it's not like, ooh, pinch, it's not that. It's a very light pressure, thumb behind, index finger on top, and just holding, and you can hold it, for as long as it is comfortable for you. And now that I've showed you on this big ear, because it's easier to see on this, I'm going to show you on my ear. I see a lot of you already doing it on your own ears, so that's great. And now I really invite you to follow along. Uh, you're going to find that ridge. Uh, you know how to go to the ear canal, and then you've got the ridge. Then you want to go up a little until you're right about where the inner ridge there meets that ridge. And thumb behind. And remember, we have two ears, but before I do that, you can move it a little. You can kind of do this sort of motion. I hope you all can see what I'm doing here and work it all the way up. When you get up to where the low back reflexes are, you're going to feel a little sort of a notch. So it will kind of stop you. And that's a good way to know where the mid-back thoracic reflex starts. And then it comes down to here. So as I said, you have two ears, which is really wonderful because it's so efficient that you can work both ears at the same time. So if you'll put your thumb behind, um, locate where that ridge is, go back from the ear canal till you hit that ridge. I showed you where it is. It's not low. It's not all the way there. It's this whole mid area right here that we're going to be working and holding mainly and just gently moving. So, and your elbows can be hopefully rested on a table or a desk or a pillow, or just making sure that you're taking any kind of tension off of your shoulders as you work. So I see most of you working along with me. Wonderful, wonderful. So once you've located that area and relaxed your shoulders and you're resting your elbows, you can close your eyes. You can even rest your head a little bit if you want and just take your time. Just hold where you're at gently. It feels pretty good. Who doesn't have neck tension and mid back tension, spinal tension, and sort of work your way slowly up there, keeping your thumb behind. And you can close your eyes and move up a little more. You can also with thumb behind, you can sort of cover more of that area if you flatten your index finger, which is nice too. And you can go move it more down like this slowly instead of across. But you can do both. I hope you guys can see that okay. And you're probably going to mostly be doing this in private. I don't know. I work my ears in public, but you can work as long as you like. And probably the more often the better. Um, Again, the nice thing about the ears is feet are sometimes hard to get to, and you can work them both at the same time. The ears are magical. I hope you all are realizing that after being with us for a while. So, yeah, thanks again for taking time to be with us today, everyone. We really appreciate it.
Good to see a lot of you working on yourself, following along, not only watching, but also working on yourself. That's the idea. And by the way, in this video, we had to go very quickly to cover a lot of information. What we encourage you to do is to, like I'm going to do with my voice now, is slow down. Spend a lot of time working on those reflexes as frequently as you reasonably can as well. Now, after you do reflexology, it's often suggested to drink extra fluids to help keep yourself hydrated. And coming back to the reflexes for a moment, remember the top priority is the one that you want to work on most. If you don't have time to do all three, be sure to do the first one if you can physically. We'd love for you to share this information, help us spread the information around. We are a 501c3 nonprofit and also non-vocational. So it's self-help work that we teach here. And one of the things that we could ask your help for, we already mentioned one, which is to share this with friends and neighbors, family members. But also, we would appreciate your donations. Why? Because although we all at the World Reflexology Foundation, we're all volunteers, it costs us money to get some of the projects done that we're working on. For example, we're translating a lot of the articles that are on the website. If you go to the website, worldreflexologyfoundation.org, you notice that there are a lot of articles there, and also they're being translated into other languages from around the world, a long-term project, and also the videos. And eventually we'll get to having all the videos with voiceovers from around the world as well. So all of these projects are ambitious. They do take quite a bit of money. So if you have the situation where you could donate, we would appreciate your helping us, but just be as generous as you can. But most importantly, it's not to help us with the projects as much as to help us get the projects out to the world, to help the world be, as we said at the beginning, to help the world be a healthier place through self-help reflexology. So bless you. Thank you so very much for being with us. And until the next time, we wish you very vibrant, good health.